Hello, and welcome back. It's a packing video. I've never done one like this. I've never done a packing video, so it is fairly simple. To my right, I have my envelopes. 6 of the boxes of these ones left. So that's even at 5 is a lot, over 1,000, 1,500. And then I have these, and these, and some boxes, and these boxes are over here, some other stuff around the corner. But this is the stuff that I need for today, for the order. So at a certain time when everything is processing and it's uploading, and I have the time, because it can take like a half hour or 40 minutes, like the one that for Monday took. So that's finishing on that. So I figure I start this. And while I was doing that, I go and I start pre-pulling what I need. Now, a couple of the things I'm just going to grab some extra of, and I'll just toss them back in a box or back over on a pile when I'm done. So the point of this video is to just show on a typical day of just packaging. I really can't see this, so I'm couch here, computer screen over here. So for today, we have things like this cassette. Now, the packaging itself is going to protect, for the most part, $40 cassette. Do I want to put something like this in just a little bubble envelope? Yeah, I fold over these lips a little bit. Probably not. It is a little more expensive cassette. So I am not wanting that to get damaged. The actual cassette itself and the artwork. That's more likely why they bought it. So I could put one in these. This is one of the 6x3x2 boxes that I get from Supply Hut. And I'll just crunch that down. Leave a little bit like this here, like a pinky gap, maybe. There we go. Usually those two seams will meet, and you can either leave it like that. That's why you leave that little gap, so you can push those two in, and it seals that. And I will just put some tape over this. So I don't do all cassette tapes like this. Just ones where I want it's not like high end. But it's enough to where a bubble envelope would stand a chance of it. So now it stands a lot less chance of one impact going in and going through the case and breaking the actual cassette case, not the thing that it's in, the actual cassette, the shell. It's fairly well protected. It's going relatively local. And 3 ounce. So this does pay a difference in, so you may hear like, well, if it weighs under a pound, it's going to be that pound rate no matter what it is. If it's no matter the item, if it weighs 4 ounces, it's going to go at a pound rate. At a certain point, especially with first class and things that are weighed in the ounces, as they get sent through through like the conveyors and stuff, these are a small parcel. As your carrier picks them up and it starts getting sorted, it gets sorted by size and destination, zone range. So you're going to see like there's going to be a square, and it's going to be number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think it goes up to 9. Those are zones. So lightweight, certain zone go in one container. After they get to a sorting facility, they're measured for their weight accuracy. So if you have on here 1 ounce and it's actually 3, it's the scale as it's being read is going to read it as 3 ounces, but it's going to be 1 on the label, and all within the barcode and the little QRs and stuff that are all up here. It's going to shoot that one over as an inaccuracy. It weighs 3 ounces, but it shows 1. Now, if you have on here that it's 8 ounces and it's 3, depending on the mail type, if it's medium mail, it doesn't really matter. Ounces are different. Furthermore, as they're going through the system, they stay in things that are less than a pound. They stay in stuff that's 4, 3, 2, 1 ounces. So as all these things are being shuffled around, as long as you have the proper weight on here, it didn't get diverted from when it was being scanned at the sorting and ran through weight and checking and everything. And then it's also going to stay in the lightweight packages that then need to get sorted to go somewhere else. So if it's inaccurate, it'll slow it down a little. And if it's inaccurate, it may end up in things that are heavier, much heavier than this, that can turn around and smash and break it. All right. Very generic rundown on that. That's not probably 100% accurate or 100% true. You can watch a myriad of different videos on YouTube on how the USPS and the sorting facilities and all that stuff works. The wonders of the interwebs. All right, so go on here. What, Rigby? So, lean over. Give it a good. Sometimes it'll pull some of this extra paper off, which then may start to cause a problem with the rest of the labels that are going to need to come out. That one's on a pretty sloppy. All right, so a lot to go in there. Then we go to back to orders. And generally, as the stacks are right here, as I'm showing them, and I take that stack when I'm done showing in a video, and I flip it over, and then I have the stuff that was the first stuff. So the very first things that I'm packaging are things that are the latest sold, or the things that are the oldest sold, I should say. And that goes in like that. Then I will just tear this down. Give it an extra little push, make sure it's in there. And any of my viewers that have bought from me can probably relate to, this is probably how they got their item, depending on what it is. What, Rigby? I know you want outside, but you got to stay in until everyone else gets back. So this goes up as 4 ounces. This one is $15, $15.56. Wow, this is actually going local. This is, and I don't want to show the address. This has to be, since the price change, the first item that I've shipped out that's actually cheaper to send out first class than this media mail. Almost everything else of weight. $4.46. Media mail is $4.47. Okay, so otherwise it would go media mail because it's $15 and it's going to get there quick. And I very, 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 very rarely ever have to do any sort of claims. Very rarely. So purchase label. Yeah, may as well. I mean, it's a penny cheaper. It gets there faster and it comes with insurance. But that penny, why would I spend a penny more for less service? Go back to orders. American Gem Trails. All right, so this one right here, it'd be too big to fit in one of these. Hopefully it'll fit in this. Sure enough will. Push that all the way down. And I'm just going to keep a little firm grip on it. Hold that lip down. This is just on how this one is getting done. And this is $13 for a $27 book, $28 book. It'll just go media mail. If it was like $50, $60, yeah, I'd consider, well, definitely if it was 60. This is $4.47 media mail. 13 ounces print. But at however much it costs a label, and when you're completely out, it's always good to just have that reserve. All right, that one's done. What, Rippy? Yeah, he's a talker. He's complaining that he's not outside. All right, so now we are here at this $150 book. I have a bunch of these Mylar things. I used to order a bunch of these for different things. And these, I forget what they are. They're like 6 cents. I forget exactly what I paid for them. Well, okay. So fortunately, it looks like it can. In here, very snug going this way. And the reason I'm doing this, it's more habit. Because if you have something with a dust jacket, yeah, this isn't going to matter. And this guy or gal, whoever gets this, be like, what did they do that for? Yeah, that barely fits it. Now, I could force that completely in there to fit perfect. But that is not what my intent is. So, we get this box. And this is a 5 by 4 3/4 eBay box. And so that fits in there like that. So I could take these, tear them down. Since they're going to get in the way with the envelope that I'm going to put them in. Now I have folded those edges into here a little, adds a little bit of padding. We can take these down here, fold that, and just to keep it a little more, I usually don't use this much tape on a daily. Could pierce the side and everything start falling out, then I'd have problems. And this is a $150 one. It's definitely more than $99. Not that one. This one. So that's going to fit in here. This. Pull that up. You can see how that corner. So I could slide this in. Well, let's see where we're at weight-wise. If it's not going to add anything over a pound, so you can actually put another one. So combined, how much for these envelopes? I think you can get 100 of them for, after a coupon, I think it's 100. Maybe there's probably 50 cents in packaging envelopes and stuff to make sure that it stays padded. It's brand new, doesn't have any dents or dings on it. And if anything is going to hit this, it's got to go through this padding, another padding, and then a box. And then, well, it's just a thin Mylar from there. I doubt it's going to get damaged. So the damage of what I'm going to pay for the insurance is not the reason why I'm paying for the insurance. It is for whatever the extra money is going to be for it. So this is 1 pound 9 ounce. Then I do the measurements. So if I were to do this through eBay, go 1 pound 9 ounce, that's probably 10 by 8 by 2. Not 110. So right now, tentatively, that's 717. So that is 10. That would be 8. And that would be 2. All right. So 717 standard. And if I want to do in short a little more, that would be 317. However, you don't have to do that 317 because USPS is already $100. So if anything happens, you have to file two. And I don't even know if that's even how that would work because I've never had to file two. Usually, almost nothing. So if it does, it would become an additional step. So even if I were to just use a minimum insurance, it still makes it $887 to ship that way. So granted, you could go and it would get there a little slower. It's going to Alabama. Now, if I was going to like Puerto Rico or Alaska or Hawaii, I'd still use the first class or the parcel ground advantage. That way, it would get there quicker. So here, if I go ground advantage, or I'm sorry, media mail, and if I add the insurance, it's $692. If I go over to pirate ship, log in. Arr, Captain. Or actually, it's Yar. Yar, log me in. It actually reads, ahoy, Captain. So 108219. 108219. And if I go insurance, qualifies as media mail. So here it's going to be your first up to 100 is a dollar, and then 100 to 199. So if anything were to happen, I want to add insurance for as high as I can to that tier, that bracket. And if I hit, then you for pirate ship, you also have to hit qualifies for media mail. So sometimes it's 722 media mail insured for $200. $692 media mail insured for no, 49. It would actually be $837 to insure it completely with media mail, secondary insurance. Or ground advantage is $717 plus $70. So it'd be cheaper to send it media mail with that insurance, but it's cheaper to do it media mail with $200 insurance through pirate ship. And it says it'll be there by Monday the 17th. And if you go to order details, you actually have to go to order details. You can see on when what it shows on eBay to the buyer on which date it shows. So here it's upwards of November 17th. Media mail will get there upwards of November 17th. So it's still going to get there in the same time frame. It's not going to get there quicker, but it's also going to get there with insurance, which ultimately then in turn saves me however much that did. So that took a long time to explain that. Save money where you can. And now my cat's trying to get in. Hey, Wrigley. Now he's in there. What happens if I close you in there? So buy label. All right, next one is this Home Alone. So that one is $62. So that will get an indicative treatment. So this is another one of those boxes that I use for eyeglasses. So the case, it could be one of those to where it can get to where it's going, and that was the box. The case or something could get pushed on real hard and break and go through the CD. This is just adding an extra layer. Since it's $62, it's not going to get a crazy more. So it'll still be under 4 ounces. So this one should be able to just go ground advantage. That one will go in here. And I can even tear this down a tad. That'll help protect the top of the case. It's exposed where that fold is at. Pull that over. It came up as 4 ounces. Yeah, $4.65. So 20 cents more to insure something that's $60. Yeah, so I'll pay that. So I didn't have to do any finagling around with pirate ship or go media mail. It's 20 cents more to insure this thing. Actually, not even 18. But in the roundup scheme of things, 20 cents. All right, so another thing that I do is I will take these label backings and I will just put them inside. When I open up anything that's used like that, I don't think I did it for those, but primarily DVDs because they have a much like softer type case to where if it moves around, it can move the little spindle where the DVD goes in at. So I will toss a couple of these in here like that. So if it gets bopped, it's at least something else that the DVD would have to push up on in order to get out of that spindle. Because if it pops out in transit, it could get scratched up real bad. So that's just one little thing. And these are just going to go in the trash anyhow. So give them one last life. 3 ounces. And this is $30. I could insure it for 18 cents more. Really not. Again, 40, 50 bucks. So this will go media mail. The next one should be this. Actually, I think it's the glasses, but I'm not going to. I've shown that in videos before on how I package the glasses. All right, so this is the replacement case. I'm not worried about protecting a CD, right? Because this is just the replacement case. Well, they'll still get the same treatment. Cosmic Sin. All right, so here is one of the exceptions to my rule. So that is like a $10 DVD. Nothing spectacular. This, oh, it's light fluffy snowing. I have thousands of these envelopes. So this is one of the full-size ones I had. And I'll take a whole bunch of them, I'll cut them in half. And then it's either you seal one side or the other side is the bottom part, and you just tape the next. So I don't have to worry about taping that because I just fold that over, apply the label right there. And that's going to be 3 ounces, 2. So anything that's like that, 10, 11 bucks, 9 bucks, besides CDs. And you don't want to put a CD in there because then they'll get the case cracked and then you have to refund them. So DVDs, yeah, different story. Things like that. I don't use them often, but I do use them. These envelopes. So we go down here, definitely go media mail. So I'm not paying 20 cents more for a $10 DVD if anything happens. You know, I'm obviously out money, but this one is going across the pond, all right? So if it was expensive enough for me to have to insure it, I wouldn't have to, because anything that goes from you to the shipping hub, as soon as it gets scanned at the shipping hub, anything happens to it, eBay pays for it. So this one, I'll save that extra money and send it first class, or send it media mail. What? You don't like seeing your nose, Rigby? All right, so the next thing is this game. All right, so this will be put in here. It does fit that way, all right? And then this is just going to add as an extra layer that's inside of everything else to keep it from really sliding around. And for these ones can go in a 5x4x4 supply hut box. And a lot of people buy these for like coffee mugs. This one here, roll up these corners. That way it'll fit in there more properly. And so games aren't the only ones that I will package up like this. DVDs, some other things, some books. So this isn't my first rodeo on packaging these things up. And we can run. That's like that. And this will get two parts. Two of these. So this is these are the older, same size ones by eBay, right? But they made them one time. They were just like maybe, it's a little more than a half an inch nearer. And they brought these ones back. Well, at least me ordering them, that's what I got. All right, so that goes in here like that. Get another one of these. Restock my little box right here. Pull that one down. So it's going to be 8 ounces. So it's not exceeding 8 ounces. So it's going to go at that rate. And that is how you extra protect package one of those. So that box, those I got for 12. These envelopes you can pick up 200 for under 20 bucks after you use a $50 coupon. So we'll just say that 35, let's say, again, like 50 cents to package something that's $200. I didn't see where I was going. New York, all right, so it might not be too bad. So 516 to ship 8 ounces so far. Now I need to insure it for an additional 100 because if anything does happen, the entire order is for 203. Out of all of that, I don't mind being out those few extra bucks. So this needs to go to 99. Since the first 100 is covered by USPS, I'm getting additional insurance for 100. Again, if that's the way it works, cool. If it's not, oh well. 686. I can do that. You can't even see the timer for this video, but I can imagine it's about a half an hour. So I got to hurry up and get what I can. Whatever gets done, gets done. All right, so 686 to have it that way and insure it that way. Let's go back to eBay, or pirate ship, my bad. All right, so if I go to get rates for this is going to be probably 961 961 8 ounce. Go down here. Yes, insurance. Yes, qualifies for MediaMan. Put the insurance in for $199. As soon as you hit 200, it charges you for a whole dollar chunk, a whole dollar more. In this, through $647 to ship with $200 insurance. MediaMan, it'll get there quick enough. Or it's $686, and it gets there a little quicker. All right, so what am I going to do? Say 40 cents. It's packaged well enough. So that 40 cents is a peace of mind that it's going to get there, and if it does get lost or never gets there, then I at least know that there's that. So that's one other way. So the primary of this video, no matter how it's going to be cut and processed, print label, is basically showing on just how I print. This is how I package my orders here. Now 12:02, but doing a lot of talking and explaining as well. So close out of that. Go back to eBay. Awaiting shipment. There's not too many more in here. All right, the CDs, $15 CD. These ones don't take that long. You know, when you have to spend that time with other packaging material and supplies and cutting stuff down and taping stuff up, I mean that, and if that's all of your sales is chewing up 2, 3, 4 minutes of packaging time, I guess that's how I can say that. I mean, media sellers can relate because you don't have to do a lot of work. You slip it in a bubble envelope and send it on its way. This is a channel about me going out and buying physical media in essentially Northeast Ohio, listing it and selling it on eBay. Christmas. So this comes up 2.9. It will be 2 ounces. It is not a weight that it is not. It is not 3 ounces. It's not 3.3. It's 2.9. So it's 2 ounces. It hasn't hit the 3 ounce mark yet. So it can't be what it is not. That much for stuff that's in the first class range. I mean, all ground advantage now, but first class. Measurements don't matter too much. Because it's either you're going to get a first class rate or you're going to get a cubic rate. 24. And this one even has a pretty beat up case there. But people aren't buying it for the case. They're buying it for what's on the media, on the discs. 4 ounces. What Rigby? All right, so this one here, this High on Crack Street one, $50. It's a firm case. All right, so if anything were to happen, it'd have to come in and hit it hard. It's a firm case, so it will go in this one. And sometimes the weight can stay. So that's going to be under 5 ounces, 3.9. So I can add both these to have that added cushion for any potential damage. This is $50, so no matter what, it will go with insurance, but we'll see if it's going to be ground advantage. And this is going 7.5, so we will see. 3, so it's 40 cents more. 40 cents more to insure that. For a $50 item, yeah. And it's a double envelope. Right, what was I doing? Yeah, purchase envelope or purchase label. I really have no idea how long this video is going to be. I know vaccines. So these last 2. Hey, hold on a minute. When is this tape? Oh, this tape is right now, actually. All right, so it's a $20 tape, sealed. Nothing super, super duper spectacular. So it will go this. I had some other ones like, oh no. I had some other ones that were paper that were a little bigger than this. You can actually fit it down sideways, and I ran out of those. But I've got 5,000. These little, I think they're 6x9s or 4x8. Got thousands of them. Boxes and boxes and boxes. Probably yeah, there was probably 3,000 more of those craft ones at least out in storage. Not running out of those anytime soon. Rigby, you're going to be the talk of the video, I'll tell you that. Everyone's going to be like, hey, cat won't shut up. Keeps interrupting you. Yeah, Rigby? All right, now we go to vaccines. But the media is the stuff that I'm always ensuring that gets done first because it takes longer to get to where it's going. So if I'm going to be off by anything, it's going to be what doesn't get packaged is going to be the first class stuff. What, man? I know, you went outside. But if it's going to sound like this, I may not go anywhere. You just get the books done. I just don't want to deal with it, especially if I'm going to be headed more east. Where it's just going to snow more. If I was headed west, that'd be a different story. So if you're not familiar with lake effect here, so I know I have some Michigan viewers. I think there's a couple from like the Wisconsin area, which is, we understand lake effect, but when you go more east on the lakes, especially Lake Erie, since it's a nice long lake, goes all the way like that. Right about here is where, almost right about here, maybe a little more like Madison is really where that snow belt starts at. Right here, not so much. But if it's snowing here, it's snowing in Madison, it's snowing in Ashtabula, and Ashtabula is going to get the brunt of the snow. Because it's all the way up by Conneaut, which is all the way up by Lake Erie. Well, Conneaut is much more over Ashtabula. So it's closer up northeast of Lake Erie. I lost my train of thought. All right. Back to orders. Back to leadership. Well, here, this one's 3 ounces. So this took a look, about twice as long to do because video and talking and yammering and on and on. But if it's something that, if anybody learned or picked something up, if there's something that you're going to implement or use or whichever, that's the point of people marketing, I guess, or just distribution of information. Print. Sometimes I might have something that I can wrap those glasses up with. I have a box right there. All right, so this is the box. So usually right here, I'll go over this so I'll get stuff lined up. That way, as he picks the entire container up and takes it to the back of his truck, if that's what he chooses to do. And everything is already all up and leveled and ready to scan. Saves him that little bit of time. Or her. There hasn't been a female carrier here in a while. I wonder. An hour. All right, so I think you get the point. That's going to wrap that one up. If you like what you heard, like what you saw, like what you learned, tell me anything going up, comment down below. Subscribe, share, those are all free. We keep helping each other. Appreciate it.